Captain's Log, subdate 200501.2. I have been asked by multiple people to make a poop joke whenever I say Captain's Log. A team of Moisty Assault commands were sent to each of their homes and they have all been executed for dad joke related crimes. A further cull may be required to censor this kind of skin-crawling cringe. As a side note, my toilet is fine. They need to stop looking down it after I'm done. Welcome to the 5th This Week at Twitter, or Twat. Today we have 8 subjects to address, and we're going to start with this. You lost my business. Give me liberty or give me COVID. Quality hashtag there, Mr. Kevin. Yes. As someone correctly pointed out, because it's a bit of a murky area with the states, while you do have the right to your own freedom, you don't have the right to risk someone else's life. Genius. But this actually leads on to something else. SoFame retweeted it with this. I kinda get it. And my dear friend Little Miss Anonymous then, of course, made a joke. An obvious joke. But this isn't where it ends. Sinatra took a screenshot of this, erased the names from it, and used it to set up a different point, by negating the original joke entirely. If I was a little bit less lazy, I would have simply asked him whether he knew that Little Miss Anonymous was being, let's say, sarcastic, since he has done many streams with her in the past, a long time ago, but he knew of her. And the fact she's Canadian, come on. Part of me, because the names were deleted, had thought that perhaps it was a little disingenuous when you could have retweeted it instead, because that's what a lot of people do when they want people to see a thread. Retweet it, go have a look for yourselves. So there is an air of intellectual dishonesty, but I'm not too sure. We all at some point used to stand for something, but when we start to make something a point out of a non-point to begin with, our point, once unravelled, becomes less valid. There's a reason a lot of us have been tarred with the word grifter, and arguably things like this do us no favours. Moving on, let's talk about Gabby Hanna, who did this.
I wonder should I follow through, but then I remember I've been here before. This prison isn't foreign to me anymore. That's right, I've been here before. This prison isn't foreign to me anymore. I've been here before. This prison isn't foreign to me anymore. My God, I've been here before. This prison isn't foreign to me anymore. I've been here before. I've been here before. I've been here before, but I've escaped before. I've been here before. I've been here before. The shackles of my past are clever to the floor. I've been here before. I've been here before. I've been here before. I've been here before. I've been here before, but I've escaped before. This prison won't keep me captive anymore.
Was she high? I've heard you sing Monster. It was really bad. Can you please not rap anymore? It hurt my soul. So next, let's talk about orcs in D&D, because this is a subject that has gotten a lot of attention because of this tweet. If you read the roleplay thing about orcs, if you play D&D in fact, you'll know orcs by and large fairly destructive. They are for the most part in virtually every form of interpretation that they feature in. Lord of the Rings, Warhammer, Warhammer 40,000. I could continue. The point is, orcs are not good. However, I left World of Warcraft out of there, didn't I? Because in this it mentions they could be domesticated. Empathy, love, compassion. Anyone remember Thrall? Yeah. Interesting. This sparked a big debate about the inspiration for orcs within D&D, how one must adapt it, like from James Introcaso here, who believes that you could, in certain circumstances, change certain characteristics of different races so that they would then be more human. Orcs aren't human. Take the 40k one, created by Old Ones solely to defeat the Necrons and the Satan. Never mind. But then you have others. Eden Black here, drawing what look like blue and green Moomins to make a point about orcs. They don't look like orcs. One looks like a pig, and the other looks like a Moomin. Dear Lord, you guys need help. Here are some of my favourite articles when it comes to orcs, because orcs are totally 100% like humans and therefore are being compared to black people because that's what they're trying to do. So this is what we need to be putting out instead. Thank you, air quotes, Salon, doing your bit for the community. I might recommend people not try and hustle in on gaming communities they're not a part of, but when you're a part of it and you get triggered by something, it's a damning statement of how you've perceived it, because it tells me you've jumped to a conclusion. But people who wrote it were clearly inspired by crime rates and blah 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 blah. Piped down, peasant. You clearly know not what you speak of. That felt better. Moving on, let's talk about doxing. Last week I was alerted, courtesy of Cringe Monster Productions, that somebody had put her full name out in a tweet after they themselves had a disagreement with each other over Twitter cause name, face and blah blah blah. This is the tweet. I've of course removed everything. I can't link it down below, by the way, because I, along with others, reported it, and it has been removed. I did reply to that tweet by telling them that they were in the wrong, because their entire argument was centered around the fact that their name and face were shared. However, name, city and face were in their Twitter bio. Therefore, it was not a comparable dox. It was entirely someone calling you out by name and naming your city because it was in your profile, because you disagreed over something, so you resorted to bad tactics. I'm going to say this, and I'll say it many times. I don't mind how many times I have to say it. There is never a good reason to dox. Someone could now play reductio ad absurdum, go nuts. You don't need to dox. You pass it to the local authorities if someone has committed a crime. You report it and hope that they do their damn job. So to the person that attempted to dox Cringe Monster Productions, please don't. It's pathetic. Next, back on Monday I was watching Alcoholics and Ammo on the Drunken Uncle channel, linked to Drunken Uncle's channel down below. Halfway during that stream though, because I turned up late after doing a Euro Truck stream, the stream went down, and I was a tad curious. Thankfully though, Drunken Uncle put out a tweet, but the tweet came from Irate Alex, who signed into the account because he couldn't stream anymore because Virgin Media had a mare and decided, oh whoa, we're not going to work for you anymore. Swag. Well, I did some digging and had a little look at the Virgin Media Twitter when they were discussing this, and I couldn't help but notice they were engaging in customer service, with this gentleman saying, giving you guys a final chance, Sky UK was nice while I was with you for the past 3 to 4 months. To which Virgin replied, now I scratched my head a little. I had to check. It is in fact the official Virgin Media account. It is not a fake. Right. Understandably, the replies to that are predominantly around the fact that somebody used a word that you probably shouldn't be using as customer service. Not that I'm going to police what you should and shouldn't say. I'm just going to point at it and say, are you sure you should use that? Is that in the Virgin customer service manual? One does have to wonder, don't they? Usually in the UK it's BT that goes down. It's nice to know Virgin are just as fallible too. Moving on, I want to talk about something that was trending, and it was about goddamn time. Simply, it was the word moist. What I found most interesting was that there were some people who put out recipes of food, and they were saying how deliciously moist those particular food products were, cakes and meat-related dishes. Others using it in the context of religion, which amused me to no end. But then there was one. What is wrong with you people? The word moist is trending. In the reverse order, nothing's wrong with them. No one has a problem with moist. It's only when they alter the word to mean something else. Because when you hear the word moist, you think cake, which is the first thing I indicated earlier. And the word moist sounds fantastic. I know people have an issue with those who speak too moistly at the moment. But it's okay. They can't help it. The word moist is just too damn moist. It's good. Next, I want to talk about some videos I saw that have been translated from French concerning, you know what, I'm just going to show you the tweets. The videos are linked to them. You can go watch them for yourselves. Basically, this 10-year-old girl is being told not to go to school by her fiancé because he will teach her everything she needs to know. She's 10, by the way. He's 25. This is not okay. It's never okay. Anyone that tries to legitimize this, there's a word for it. You don't want to hear it. So we're going to go to the God Rod as the final subject for this video. What is the God Rod, you say? I'm going to now preface this by saying I'm not going to go into the receipts concerning it. I'm not going to go anywhere near the context. I'm just going to say somebody shared it to Twitter. There it is. The God Rod is the wang belonging to Millennial Woes. Apparently, I don't know if it's legit or not, Mitch covered it in a stream where he went through the receipts. That like to dislike ratio, though. Jesus. Just going to point at it and say, there it is. Okay. If you didn't have his permission to do that, there's a word for it. Starts with cr and ends with I'm. Yes. Interesting. Anyway, we are done here. Thank you very much for joining. If I don't see you tonight on Moisty Live, I hope you have a fantastic Friday and subsequent weekend. And thank you all for listening.